Lyft just finally had its first profitable year, and somehow the pay didn't get any better. In fact, a lot of us feel like it's gotten worse. How did a company go from losing money for years to suddenly making a profit while still paying those drivers trash? So tonight we're going to break down the business side of Lyft, when they went public, how they finally got profitable, and why the pressure from Wall Street means they're willing to lose rides rather than to pay us more. Look, most of my episodes, they're about what you see on the road. Uber versus Lyft pay, airport strategies, XL versus Black, all that. But if you don't understand the business side of these apps, you're going to be confused forever about why they pay us the way they do. Now, Lyft isn't just some app on your phone. It's a public company. It has a stock ticker, it has investors, and it has quarterly earnings calls. And for the first time, they just had a full profitable year. That sounds great on CNBC, but if you're driving, you should be asking, where did all that profit come from? Now let's rewind for a second. Lyft started off as the underdog. They were that nice alternative to Uber. Those pink mustaches, fist bumps, and all that. Then in 2019, they went public. That means they listed their stock on the market under the ticker symbol LYFT or Lyft, and now they answer to Wall Street. So once you go public, the game changes. Every 3 months, you got analysts, you got hedge funds, you got big money people looking at your numbers. How much revenue did you bring in? Are your bookings growing? Are you profitable yet? What's your margin? For years, Lyft was losing money. They were growing, but they were not profitable. And investors were like, okay, cool, but when are you going to actually make some money? Now, fast forward to recently. Lyft finally reports their first full year of net profitability. They did billions in revenue. Their bookings went up, and they ended the year in the green instead of the red. Now, on paper, that sounds like a major win. Headlines say Lyft turns a profit. Executives, they get on earnings calls. They pat themselves on the back. They talk about how they're disciplined. They focused on margins, and they're generating free cash flow, maybe even buying back some of their stock. But for the drivers, the profit didn't fall out the sky. It came from somewhere. And if you're not jacking up prices on riders too much, because riders, they'll just open the Uber app, then guess who's left in the middle? You and me, the drivers. Now, this is the key thing a lot of drivers don't realize. Once a company like Lyft finally hits profitability, they're terrified of losing it. If they go back to losing money, their stock drops, investors bail, executives get hammered on those earnings calls. Meanwhile, Uber, their main competitor, is over there showing big numbers, massive bookings, and also talking about their profits. So Lyft is in a position where they have to less market share than Uber, they have less volume than Uber, but investors, they still want growth and they still want profit like Uber. Now that's a lot of pressure, and the easiest lever they have is us. They can't suddenly double the price on the passengers in most markets. So instead, they tweak that map on the back end, the take rates, the bonuses, the incentives, and who gets that slice of each fare. They'd rather keep that "we're profitable now" story going, even if that means nickel and diamond drivers. Then they don't have to walk into the earnings call and explain why they slipped back into the red. That's why on the surface, it feels backwards. Lyft has a smaller slice of that pie. In a lot of cities, they have fewer riders and fewer drivers than Uber. Common sense says, hey, if you want me to drive for you, pay me more than Uber, right? But that's not how they're playing it. Here's what they're actually thinking. Most passengers aren't price shopping both apps. A lot of people only have one app installed. A lot of drivers, like you and me, we multi-app, so we keep Lyft on as a backup. And as long as they have enough drivers to keep wait times decent, they don't feel like they have to outpay Uber. So even if their market share is smaller, they're still trying to squeeze every dollar of profit out of the rides they do have. They're willing to lose some rides, like those XL and extra comfort rides that I usually decline, if on average their margins stay strong. So from a driver point of view, that's stupid. From their spreadsheets, that's discipline, cost control. Now let me give you an example. I've had nights where I got both apps on, Uber and Lyft. And Lyft, they're going to send me 2 or 3 XL and extra comfort rides. On paper, they look premium. But when you look at the pay versus the distance, it's basically like Uber Comfort money. I'm driving farther, taking more risk, and I'm burning more gas, and the pay is not lining up. Now, if Lyft had bumped up the fare a bit, paid closer to what Uber pays me for similar XL or premium rides, I probably would have took it. They would have completed that ride, they would have made some money. But because they're obsessed with keeping that margin tight, the ride hits my phone underpriced. I decline it, and they just lose it. And here's the crazy part. They're okay with that. They'd rather lose that one ride than loosening up their pricing across the board and risk losing their nice little "we're profitable now" story. Imagine 3 rides in a row. Same city, same night, similar mileage. Uber hits me with something that makes sense. Lyft hits me with something that looks like a joke. I'm not emotional about it. I just tap decline and I wait for better money. Now, what does this mean for you as a driver? It means Lyft isn't confused. They know exactly what they're doing. They're a public company now. Their first profitable year was a milestone, and they're under heavy pressure not to backslide. They're going to keep looking for ways to protect that profit number, even if it means underpaying on certain rides and letting the smart drivers walk away. Your job is not to be loyal to Lyft or Uber. Your job is to understand the game that they're playing so you can play yours. If Lyft wants me to move my XL down the highway for them, well, they gotta pay me like they understand my cost. If they don't, that app becomes a filler app. I'll cherry pick the good ones and I'll let the rest rot in the queue. Once you see that big picture, that Wall Street and the profits are driving this, not just some random glitch in the app, you stop taking it personally. You just become more ruthless with your accept and your decline button.